everybody on YouTube. I'm Xaldin Wolfgang, also known as Master 100, known as the Master of all Spellcasters. Man, at first I thought Season 6 of MLP was atrocious, and it was my least favorite season. But then came along Season 8. At least with Season 6, it had some shiny gems here and there. But Season 8, however, has mostly shit. So might as well do on my channel, my top 10 worst episodes of MLP Season 8. Now before I start this list off, please bear in mind this is all based on my opinion. And if you happen to like or love these episodes, that's perfectly fine. So with that being said, let's start this list off. Number 10, Surf and or Turf. When I first saw this episode, I thought the show was finally going to tackle a certain message. I was wrong. The message of parents being divorced. And to be honest, I know how Tiramar feels. And the CMC were kind of not really right for the job throughout most of the episode. Scootaloo and Sweetie Bill seem to only be focused on themselves and helping. But I'll talk more about the episode when I review it. Number 9, The Mod Couple. Hello again, Mod Couple. Fancy seeing you here again. For those who don't know, I really didn't like the episode. Mudbuyer was annoying as fuck and really stuck up. And he was only there just to antagonize Pinky. Number 8, Marks for Effort. This has to be on the top tier of worst CMC episodes. In this episode, the CMC act like little brats and try to get into Twilight's school by trying to stage their friendship ending, and to top it off, they use a new character, Cozy Glow, we'll talk about her later on the list, to try to get into the school, and what do you know, the CMC gets rewarded for bad behavior. Let's just get to the next entry. Number 7, The Parent Map. Before you all say anything, this won't be the only Starlight Glimmer episode on this list. This is me you're talking about. Anyway, why do I despise this episode? Let's start off with Starlight Glimmer showing that she doesn't regret what she has done in her past. Not only that, but Starlight and Sunburst's parents were obnoxious as fuck, which I'll dive more deeply into this episode down the road. Number 6, Road to Friendship. Oh goody, another Starlight Glimmer episode for me to talk about. I know fans out there love Trixie and Starlight's friendship, and I can see why, but episodes like this, and All Bottle Up, shows that their friendship is toxic. Not only Trixie doesn't care about Starlight's well-being, but Starlight doesn't care for Trixie's feelings, nor her ship, by trading her wagon away because Starlight wasn't happy. And doing all of this without Trixie's permission. Are you fucking high? My god, this list is going to be the end of me. Now we're getting to the big ones, the top 5. These episodes are no doubt the worst of the worst. And some of these episodes would deserve to be on the worst of the entire series. Let's get this over with. Number 5, Yakety Sax. Remember back in Party 1 where Pinky got depressed because she was afraid of losing her friends? Well, let's throw that out the fucking window and have Pinkie Pie be depressed. Because she can't play an instrument. What? What the fuck? Throughout the entire episode, Pinky has done nothing but terrorize her friends with that instrument. And because her friends tell her she's not good at it, and her friends bend over backwards to coddle her and cheer her up. But then, of course, by having her play that instrument, she becomes happy again. And the message is, as long as you're happy, criticism shouldn't matter. Fuck off with that message. Number 4, The Washouts. This episode feels like No Second Prances 2.0. Bringing back a character that fans wanted to see? Check. Having one character being paranoid for the other character's safety? Check. Having paranoid character being unlikable? Check. And to put the cherry on top of the shit sundae, a character almost getting killed? Fucking check. Number 3, Father's Knows Beast. You know when some bronies make a debate, what would be considered the worst Spike episode? Some would say Owlswell That Ends Well. Some would say Dragon Quest. Others would say Spike at Your Service or Princess Spike. Originally, I would say Spike at Your Service, but after watching this episode does another one of my least favorite TV show plots next to babysitting plots. It's moochers pretending to be your relative plot, and this episode does not hide it. Oh, but we're getting to the 2 worst parts. Not only the moocher got away, but Spike broke Twilight's heart after all the shit she has done for him. This list is going to be the end of me. Number 2, School Raise. You know, whenever I think of a terrible season finale, I would think the cutie remark. But after watching this episode, I can say this is the new worst season finale of the entire series. Cozy Glow's motivation was never explained, and the reason she got beat because of a Deus Machina. I'll dive more deeply into this episode why I think it's the worst season finale of the entire series when I actually review this episode, but for now, let's get to the dishonorable mentions. Dishonorable mentions goes to Non-Complete Clause and The Mean Six. Now, without any further delays, my number 1 pick. And the number 1 worst episode of Season 8 is A Matter of Principle. Words cannot describe how much I despise this episode, and all because of Discord. You heard me, everybody. The episode that revolves around Starlight is not the reason why I despise this episode. Throughout the entire episode, Starlight was actually not so bad, and she was actually trying to do the right thing, for once. And Discord's behavior was wrong in this atrocity of an episode. The lesson was terrible, and the lesson was acting like a spoiled brat will get you whatever you want. That has to be one of the worst messages in kid shows. If I ever made a top list of worst messages in MLP, this would be in the top 5. Not only the worst messages, but the worst of the entire series. This episode has to be by far the worst of the entire series. Yes, this episode is almost, if not worse than No Second Prances, the episode I have so many problems with. Well, now that I finally got through all of this, thank God, now I can end this on a positive note, with my next review being my top 5 best episodes in MLP Season 8. Hope to see you all there.